What I'm about to show you is honestly really disturbing in the way it reflects so poorly and severely on a portion of the right wing, Trumpism, MAGA. It's shocking. So to give you context, and we'll look at this clip, it is going to be of Nick Fuentes, but let me kind of lay the foundation here. So as you guys know, Trump had dinner with Nick Fuentes and Ye, or as he's formerly known, Kanye West. And one of the things that I said when we originally covered this is Trump's trying to make this, oh, it's not bad because I didn't know who Nick Fuentes was. Well, two big things. Number one, just even ignoring Nick Fuentes for a second, Kanye being there is enough to be deeply disturbed by because of Ye's recent statements, right, about Jewish people that are deeply, deeply anti-Semitic, as well as reporting revealing in private he is pro-Hitler. Pro-Hitler. Okay, so just the fact that Trump knowingly had Ye over for dinner is horrible, is vile. But then whenever you try to say, oh no, Trump didn't know Nick Fuentes was going to be there. Yeah, but after the fact, he refused to denounce Nick Fuentes. And then reporting revealed that the reason he did not want to denounce Nick Fuentes was because he believes it would enrage or it would bother or it would cause a backlash from some portion of his base. So that's what he thinks of his own base, and that's why he doesn't want to denounce Nick Fuentes. With all of that in mind, I want you to watch a few of these different moments where Nick Fuentes is sharing his view, saying we just need a full-on dictatorship, take rights away from people, just openly proclaiming himself to be a fascist. And remember, this is what a still incredibly influential individual in the Republican Party, a former president, very likely could be the next Republican nominee for president, refuses to denounce. These are the views.
Abortion's popular, sodomy's popular, being gay is popular, being a feminist is popular, sex out of wedlock is popular, contraceptives are, that's all popular. That's not to say it's good, that's not to say I like that. Popular means the people support it, which they do. And it sucks, and it is what it is, but that's why we need dictatorship. That's unironically why we need to get rid of all that. We need to take control of the media or take control of the government and force the people to believe what we believe.
Force the people to believe what we believe, and credit to Rachel Maddow. That's where I'm getting these clips from, and she's playing a compilation of clips that Right Wing Watch has collected. So, excuse me, this is absolutely wild. We understand these are some of the views that people hold, but to see again a former president, I guess at this point nothing should shock us with Trump, but somehow it still does, and he refuses to denounce it. Now, here's a little bit more.
Here's the pathway. We have one more election where white people can make the decision. The white people got to make the right decision, and then Trump's got to get in there and never leave. That, to me, at this point, is a pathway. It's time to shut up, elect Trump one more time, and then stop having elections. We have got to talk about the fundamentals of our worldview and what it would look like to build a society based on our distinct worldview. It looks like a society where women don't have the right to vote. And it looks like a society where boys and girls get married as teenagers and start having kids, and they don't use birth control, and they don't use contraceptives, and they have big families and a high birth rate. And it looks like women wearing veils at church. And it looks like women not being in the workforce. Banning gay marriage is back on the menu. Banning sodomy is back on the menu. Banning contraceptives is back on the menu. And basically, we're having something like Taliban rule in America, in a good way. We're having something like a Catholic Taliban rule in America. Okay.
So, just setting aside the fact that personality-wise he seems so creepy, there are so many of those views that historically have led to mass death events. And that is what not only he espouses, but also is apparently what Trump thinks enough of his base would be mad to see him denounce. Again, that's not my characterization. That's Trump's. That's his belief and what has motivated him not to denounce Nick Fuentes when it would be so easy. It should be the simplest thing in politics to go, oh yeah, the Nazi, don't like him. But the only response we've seen from Trump is, oh, I didn't know who he was. Well, you know now. What do you have to say now? And not to mention the fact that you knew the views of Ye and you still had him over. Again, a Hitler supporter in Kanye West. So this is very scary to me. This reflects very poorly and severely and devastatingly on Trumpism, on the state of some portion of our country. I think narrowing it down to a specific percentage would be difficult, but it needs to be called out and it needs to be watched out for, because as I mentioned before, these are the quintessential dangerous views that lead to mass suffering. Fuentes outright supports a fascistic takeover, a dictatorship, installing Trump as the dictator so that white people can stay in power in his mind, and so that women's rights can be taken away, LGBTQ people's rights can be taken away, all non-white people's rights can be taken away, and on we go. Very scary. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before any of the clips are uploaded to YouTube, plus get access to an extra full show every Saturday that only members can see, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Luke Beasley. That's patreon.com/Luke Beasley, and there is a link in the description.